I had a transplant when I was 17 from my dad. And so more recently, I was in the hospital for a while and they realized I wasn't going to be able to keep it. And then I started dialysis journey. And I started off on peritoneal, which at least I was able to do at home. Eventually I wasn't able to do that anymore. So I had to switch over to hemo, which was very difficult to go into the hospital 3 times a week. And then I started home hemo, which gave me a bit more quality of life. So there was less restrictions, but I still had to be connected to that machine at night at home. At the beginning, I kind of had hope that this is just gonna be a quick part of my life, and I actually had a total of 10 people go to try to donate a kidney. But when nobody matched, it became a lot more real that this is likely to be the rest of my life. And my sister is amazing. She stayed on that paired exchange program for so many years, and I had even told her, just stop. We're never getting this kidney, it's never happening. Don't torture yourself. She said, no, I'm gonna keep doing this and this is gonna happen. And it did. And I never believed it would.
I always knew that I was going to give my sister a kidney. I was expecting that this was going to happen, that she was going to need another kidney. The surprise was that I was no longer a match. I mean, when my sister was 17, we all were tested. The whole family was tested. And my dad gave the kidney, but me and my brother were a match, and we knew that one day that might be needed. But when the kidney failed, we were no longer a match. When we finally had a green light from the organ pairing program, the chain is ready to go, and you have a date for surgery, I was the only one that believed it. I told the family, I called, a conference call, because we're all in different cities. I have something to share with you. And they're all like, well, we'll see. And I'm like, put in your calendar, this is happening. And it happened. We had many false starts along the way. I had been in that program for a good 8 years. And I just knew that was the date that was gonna work.
I have to say that day of being wheeled into the operating room, and it was a bit surreal. That day being wheeled into that operating room, it was lit, it was beautiful, it was like, and then there were huge signs on the walls, and it said recipient, and it said my name, and it said transplant, kidney, left side. It was all like written out, and then that was the moment where I said, this is real. Until then, I didn't believe it. A few days after I was released, they came to take my dialysis machines away. That was a very emotional day. Just to get rid of the machines and then get rid of all the equipment, and just take our lives back. And then my husband and I started planning vacations and things like that, which is something that we haven't been able to do for so long. About a month or so after the transplant, we decided to just take a long weekend and go for just a spa type thing. Like even that we couldn't do because we couldn't do more than 2 nights away. So these are kind of dreams that we always had that we said we'll never be able to do. It's a bit crazy. Like I feel like a new world. I feel like a different person. You have the chance to give somebody else a life, like a real life.
We all look at donors as heroes. And yes, it's a hard thing to do, but the truth is, when your loved one is in pain, you're in pain. And so if there's something that you can do about it, you're not just healing your loved one, you are healing yourself. You don't do any of it alone. Think about all those people who were there for me throughout the whole process, all the loving, open conversations I've had with my sister at every milestone. My sister and I have the best relationship, partly because of this. Because we learned how to talk about difficult things as they came up, in a way that was respectful, in a way that had appropriate boundaries, in a way that was loving. For every syringe and every needle and anything that scared me, I was like, okay, yes, that scares me. I am a little bit of a baby, to be honest, but that's okay. I remember why I'm doing this, and then I don't feel scared anymore. And even if people are thinking, maybe I want to do this, but I'm not sure, I'm scared, I'm not sure how I feel about it, just enter the process and ask questions. You are in good hands.